Howard, Melbourne, the homemade chef. And this show is going to bring you recipes from the jewel of the Caribbean, which is Jamaica. I learned everything from my mother. That is why we call it the homemade chef. And her background from Jamaica, Indian, Syrian, and African. And put that all together, you got a flavor bursting, waiting for you to try. So we put it together so you at home can try it with us on the show. We got singers, we got dancers, we got people playing piano. We may sneak somebody in the violin if we get them behind the camera and our director. Who knows? But either way, you're gonna be singing and eating your way to happiness and health. Today on the Homemade Chef, we'll be making jerk beef. Okay, we're gonna go over to our sous chef and ask her what's in line in the recipe. She'll be telling us what to get. What do we need, Sammy?
First of all, we need 1 onion diced.
Well, start dicing, chef or sous chef. Head over there. While she's dicing there, I will start preparing my pot. So get a little butter in my pot, warm that up there at slow so she can have time to cut up her onions. As soon as that's done, goes into the pot. And you need about that much butter. Not a whole lot. That's probably a tablespoon and a half. A tablespoon. Put in the pot so stuff won't stick to the bottom. Fire the stove. If you want a stove, want about 5. Depends on the intensity of your stove. Every stove is different. For me, 5 is a good hot enough to be warm and warm enough to be hot. Whew. Yes, I love when the sous chef is around because she gets the onion and I don't. She gets the teary eyes. So I get to do a little sewing. I get to clean up.
Onion to chop.
Onions to chop. So while she's doing that, how much beef do we need, Sammy?
We need 400 grams of beef shoulder.
400 grams of beef shoulder. Okay, so you want to dice up those beef for me? Here's a couple of tips that the homemade chef has for you. First of all, when you're using meats, always wash them in vinegar. If you don't have vinegar, you can use lemon juice or lime juice. Well, we always use vinegar. It kills surface bacteria that's from hand touching. You know, not sure how the meat was handled in the stores. So you want to make sure you get in there, get the vinegar in, cover the meat. So if it's in the, if you're doing it in a bowl, whatever meat you have in the bowl, I pour enough vinegar until the vinegar covers the meat. Get your hands in there and wash it good. And wash it long enough, you'll almost feel a slimy feel on your hand, a slippery feel on your hand. That's when you know it's washed long enough. So yeah, vinegar first, pour the vinegar off, and then cold water, wash your meat off. Dampen it with a towel or a paper towel or a cloth, and you're good to go to start preparing your meat for cooking. Doesn't matter what meat, whether it's meat, fish, chicken, beef, anything you're cooking. If it's ground meat, it's a different story. But and my daughter could tell you that story about her ground meat when she was very young, trying to clean the meat. Because you see, Daddy washed everything with vinegar. She tried washing ground meat with vinegar. Can't tell her that didn't turn out. But she will someday, when she brings up the guts to tell you on television.
And we're using a separate cutting board for the beef.
Always separate your beef and your vegetables when you're cutting, doing your cutting board. So that's a good idea. Get that warming up there.
Just on my knife.
Ah.
Bella.
Knife thieves.
My knife, Bella.
Ah. Okay, I just cranking the stove up a little more because I want it fast so she can she'll be ready for her when she gets it. So get a little hotter here. Do my Mr. Bean thing. We also have on this show what's called the chef camera. Now the chef cam is where when I got nothing else to do and I get bored waiting for the sous chef, I start shooting. So you get to see this. Huh? Look at that butter. Yeah. Butter's getting hot. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ooh, yeah. And by the way, look where I'm working from. This is the back of my yard. What do I see back there? Oh, we got a pool out there. It's a nice, beautiful sunny day. But it's not that sunny that I want to go outside and barbecue in the snow. So, let's pass that shot. There's some chef getting the beef together. Okay, I think that pot is ready for the onions. So I'll zoom on here and get the onions in the pot. Give it a little stir there. Nothing like the smell of onions in butter. Now some of you may choose to use olive oil. I like to use olive oil also with my butter so it doesn't burn. So a couple squirts. And next time I'll speak to the director about filling up my oil can. And put that back. And I'll get what she's supposed to be filming. One thing with these low budget shows, they can't afford a full bottle of oil. Olive oil. Hey, it works. Put that away. Get back to stir this here. Then I set the stove to my desired temperature. Run it down to about 5. Next, this beef has been chopped. But what we're gonna do is take out the fringe, the beef that has been marinated. So we're gonna get to the sauce. Okay, so we're gonna chop it like this. And we go in the fridge and we take out the beef that has been chopped. And you will have this on our site where you can download the recipe. The sauce, where's our sauce over here? Here we go. This sauce goes on the beef. I will do this here. Oh, look at that. Take a good close up with that. Marinating in that Jamaican jerk sauce. So I'm gonna have my sous chef mix that together in the bowl. Okay, so we have about 2 minutes of the onions and the butter. Just seeping the flavor out, melding it together. And then next, we add the beef. So the same portion of beef that we have here, we're going to add that to the pot. Now you don't put all in one time because then your beef gets soft. What you want to do is just to sear the outside first. Turn the stove up a little again so you can sear the beef.
This is our marinade. We've got our beef in here and we have our jerk sauce. That was half a cup of Montego Bay jerk sauce. We've got a 1/4 cup of coconut milk, a 1/4 cup of oyster sauce here, there, and then we've got a tablespoon of brown sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of allspice or pimento. We have a 1/4 teaspoon of parsley flakes, 2 tablespoons of vanilla yogurt. Sorry, that was 2 tablespoons, of vanilla yogurt. And I have to chop my garlic and my scotch bonnet pepper.
Now while she's doing that, I'm going to add this fresh marinade to my marinade that's been going on overnight. So add this flavor, mix it all together here. Take a look at that, oh, nice and juicy that looks. Good enough to eat raw. But I do not recommend that. Always cook your meat. So I'm going to mix this in with what has been marinating from last night, a little at a time. Now that flavor is coming out. Oh yes, smell that. I can smell it. Now we need smell-o-vision, so you can have an idea what's going on in this kitchen. Oh my gosh.
This is my scotch bonnet pepper. Now I've chopped it, a whole one, I've chopped it in half and then I've quartered it. Now if you like it hot, you can leave the seeds in, but if you don't, you can take the seeds out. In this case, I'm going to be a whimper now and take the seeds out of it because that makes it more spicy. So I'll just chop this finely. To go along with my 2 cloves of garlic. And I've also got a cup of sliced mushrooms. We got the sliced ones because it's faster instead of getting the whole ones. You can get the whole ones if you like, but the sliced ones are just as fast. And then just chop it up finely.
Now, because I'm cooking for a big family, now with all the ingredients that we have, if you wish at this time, you can add more meat to your pot, more than the 400 grams we started with. Because as it begins to cook in, more juices releases, and you have enough juice to accommodate for meat. So we're going to throw a couple more spoonfuls here of the meat. And we'll put this away for another dinner.
So my garlic, my peppers, and my mushrooms ready.
Garlic, pepper, and mushrooms are ready. Okay.
Yes.
Well then, I think the pot is ready for that. I'm ready to dance. Woo! Music! Oh yeah. Woo. Oh, give me the rest of my pepper. Right. Oh, there's more in there. Yeah. And it's time for the chef's camp. Oh, okay, let's take a shot of that. Still shot. Bang! Woohoo! That's more like a hi-ya! Yeah, I can't help it. I'm a 3rd-degree black belt, so this is what we do. This is how we roll in the kitchen. Contact chef cooking. Look at that puppy cut. Yeah. My director thinks she's the only one who can handle the camera. Oh, she's listening. Really good girl, she is. Yeah. Where's my sushi float? Oh, get back over here.
I need a job to do. Hey.
You need a job. But how about stirring that thing over here while I take a break? It's hot here. I gotta relax here. I'm the one making the big bucks, so I should be sitting there and doing nothing.
This looks like it's ready to go in a slow cook. Should I cover it?
Yeah. At this time, we get the cover, put on your pot, so now you can let all the simmering done, cover, the juice, all the essence and the flavor stays in the pot, not out in the air and loses the kitchen window. Look at that. That don't need no juice, the flavor. Get the cover there, honey. Cover that puppy up. Now turn the stove down. Yep. Bring that down. But the release. Yeah. See that thing? You see that thing? I see the thing. Okay. Let that go. We'll be right back. Welcome back! Woo! We just danced for the SanGia track on the dance floor. Like, woo! That track got my heart pumping, man. I love that track. On the dance floor. Anyway, now, we're back and pot has been cooking for the past 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Now, time is not of essence here if you keep the pot low. So if you have your stove low, you can cook it for the next 45 minutes until whenever you are ready to eat, you can turn it off. But it's good to go. The longer, the sweeter. Bottom line. You know, it's like overnight food. It is sweeter in the morning. Okay, so what we're about to do right now is, come over here, take a shot of this pot. Look at that. Oh yeah. All that sweet stuff is cooking up in there. Now, see all the juice we have on top of it? What I like to do is to thicken it down, okay? So what we do, we get about 3 tablespoons of flour. We have that here, flour. Put it into the bowl. And then, you get a half a cup of water, and as we pour, we mix cold water, not warm water, not cold water, so the flour will mix easily. So you pour it in and you keep mixing. Keep mixing there, whip that all in. Get all the clumps up. And then I'm going to put this to a pot. So while I'm preparing this, we'll let Sammy get you going with the rice. Take it away, Sammy.
Hi. What we have is 1 cup of basmati rice. We're just going to put it in the rice cooker because it's faster. We wash our rice first to get all the excess starch off of it. So we rinse it in some cold water. So take a look, put a little bit of cold water in there, and just swish it around.
Why do we use cold water, Sammy? Tell them why.
Because if you use warm water, it clumps together.
There you go.
I did that once before, and it didn't turn out very well.
Yeah.
And then you strain it, and you repeat it.
The cold water washes the starch off a lot easier than warm water. It'll stick. The starch will stick to the grain. That's not what you want. So you get it loosened off there.
So that was a cup of rice, and now we've got a cup and a half of cold water. Okay? And then you just stick it in the rice cooker and let it go.
So now I pour my flour into the pot. Come over here, take a look at the consistency now. As you notice, it's thicker. You can choose to use cornstarch if you like. I use cornstarch when I have it. When I don't, I use flour. Just the same thing. Thickens the gravy. Now, you do not cover the pot or seal it. Else it'll become all watery again and watered down. What you want to do is leave it half covered at the same temperature, about 3, or you can go down to 2 if you wish. Depends on how soon you're ready to eat. And just let the steam come out so it will stay thick. That's the magic. If you cover it up, it's gonna get liquefied and watery again. So leave it there like that and let it dry out just a little. And the more it dries out, the thicker it gets. Okay? Alright, break that.
That Montego Bay sauce is very tangy, so Chef wanted me to let you know that you need to add, if you think it's too tangy, 2 tablespoons more of brown sugar to counteract the tang of the sauce. And then you put it in, you mix it around, and you let it simmer.
For another 5 minutes.
For another 5 minutes. Thank you, Chef.
Woo! Feedback! Go through, Chef. Let's get it. Chef camera on the go, rolling away. And we just about ready to get down to some serious eating. What do you think? Go Chef, go Chef, go Chef, go Chef, go Chef, go Chef. Woo! Enough dancing, let's get back to work here. Alright, Chef cam on hold, get back to work. All of our dishes are ready. The meat's ready, the rice is ready, and the vegetables ready. But what do you gotta say about the vegetables, right? Today I'm using lentils. I like lentils. It's right here warm, simmering. Yeah, that's good to go. Nothing special in it. We don't need any salt, you don't need any butter, because all your seasoning and spices is here in the meat. Bang! So you don't want anything to cross. You know what I mean? You don't want to put stuff in the rice and put stuff in the vegetables. Then you're gonna clash with what's in here. The big surprise. So, for those of you who can't handle too much spice, then I suggest you use a sweet vegetable like carrots, sweet peas. Those are good because the sweetness will counteract the spice, so it won't be too hot on you. And if you happen to get it too hot and you were surprised, then eat it with bread or milk, not water. Not water. Okay, so we're ready to go. Sammy, your rice is ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's put some rice in the plate.
Okay.
Turn our stove right down to low, just keep it warm. I can't wait to eat. I like to eat. Ooh! Never mind, don't do dance.
We just did.
Yeah, that's why they call me chef, not dance. The food! The food! Nice small portion. That's not mine, I want mine bigger. But let's get to the meat. Nice, come over here. Miss Camera Lady. Take a look at that now. So brown and thick, nice thick gravy to pour over the rice. Oh, I know you guys want to try this. Here, there you go. Here. Take a sip of that. Like that? Not in my kitchen. Now, so I'm gonna ask my sous chef to hold this plate for me, please. Thank you, Sammy.
You're welcome, chef.
And we take up a little and let the gravy seep out. You don't want the gravy, you just want the meat first. You put it right on the side like that. Right? And now the gravy. And you pour it around the rice. And for those of you like added gravy, you put a little bit over the meat, a little more over the meat. Ah, that's good. Now we get into our lentils. And we dab that on the side there like that. Now when I was a kid, we didn't worry much about plate decoration. You know, because my mom used to say it all go in the same place. The rice, the meat, the vegetables, all gonna mix up in your stomach. But for camera, we try to make it look decent. So you get the rice here, you get the meat over here, you got the veggies here, and time to taste. Woo! I think this dish is ready to finish off. So for Sandra, our sous chef, for Jania, our girl behind the camera, and me, the homemade chef, goodbye. We gonna eat. Woo! Come on, camera girl. Let's eat. Woohoo!